Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com, and I'm here to bring you another live paper crafting class. I'm always excited to share. Today, I am I'm not completely not ready, but I have a lot of things that aren't ready. It's been one of those weeks. My kids went back to school yesterday, and I'm just going to say that that's the reason. Just trying to balance everything and adjust everything and, kind of caught up in the emotional parts of it. But we're just going to do our best and we're going to have fun because this is a super fun card. It's called a trifold card, and I'm going to be using the Your Peach Suite to create this card along with some other products. What else? What other products? The paper lattice. You're going to love that. Snowy white velvet sheets. I had a request from someone that I share that. So we're going to be using that in this card. In Good Taste designer paper, clear and silver epoxy essentials, some fun products here. Today is Wednesday, September 8th at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live on YouTube. If you are watching live, like if you're here during this time, you can log into your YouTube or Google account and you can actually participate in the live along with all the other people that are commenting and saying hello. It's so good to see your names on my computer screen scrolling through. Oh, I love it. And tell me if you're new. So if you're new to my lives, I love to hear that. I love to spotlight those comments and share them the following week. Tell me what you're doing. Not only tell me where you're from, but last week some of you told me what you were doing. That was kind of fun too to read through. Of course, watching. But what else are you doing besides watching the broadcast? I don't know. I just get a kick out of that kind of stuff. And what else do I want to tell you? Oh, let's introduce you to Trisha. So if you're new to my lives or you haven't been here for a while, you might not recall or you might not know, but Trisha Josephs is my moderator. She is my partner in all of this. I love her. She helps me out. So she will be commenting during the lives to respond to questions, to share information with you, to guide you in the right direction. So thank you, Trisha Josephs. You'll notice that her name stands out because it has the little wrench symbol next to it. And if you want to tag her, like if you want your comment to really be seen by her, let's say you asked a question and it didn't get answered by her, you can tag her by putting the @ sign, the A with the circle around it, and then start typing her name. And you need to spell it correctly, Tricia, and then you'll see Trisha Josephs come up and you can click on her name. If you're watching after the live, so let's say this is later on today or in the future, there is another comment section, and I do drawings with comments. So we're going to do a drawing from the live comments today, and we'll also do a drawing from the comments that come in up to a week after. So make sure that you're commenting, just even to get in on the prize drawing. But I love to hear what your thoughts are. Sometimes I gain tips from all of you. So I appreciate that you chime in and participate. That's the wonderfulness of lives, right? Okay, what else do I want to share with you? I mentioned that. Okay, so this broadcast is going to be on my website. My website is stampyourartout.com, and normally my broadcast and the video and all the photos, measurements, supplies, all of that information goes on my blog shortly after the live is done. But today is Blog Hop Day with my All-Star group, and our Blog Hop is going to go live at 5 p.m. Central Time. So you'll want to visit back in like 6 hours, and then you'll be able to see the photos, like I said, measurements, supply lists. This video will be in that blog post, and there is a link to that blog post in the description of the video currently. So if you need to find it, you just go to the description of the video and you can click on that at 5 p.m. or after. Okay, I think I've shared all of that. All right, I think we're going to go to comments from last time. So I'm going to pull those up and share my computer screen with all of you after we close. Oops, hang on. There we go. Okay, let's move that over, and I have to shrink my head because my head's too big. And we're going to get this little overlay off of there. Let's try that. Does that work? It's a little bit smaller. I don't know. Maybe I'll scroll, okay? I won't put my other screen onto the preview side, because I noticed in my last week's video that I was looking at my preview screen, which doesn't have my head in it, and I would share things and then I'd forget that my head was in the way. So I'm sorry about that. So I love it. You guys were sharing, here, we'll just go down a little bit in size here too. But you were sharing where you were from, telling me if it was your first live. I love these little emojis. So fun. Let's see here. Linda mentioned that she was seeing the volcano. The volcano is showing, whatever that means. I'm guessing it's glowing. Craziness. She lives in Costa Rica. How fun. And Amy, what a sweet thing to say about your migraine hopefully going away from watching my live. I appreciate that. That is so sweet. And oh gosh, what else did I want to point out? I loved reading your comments, you guys. I always do. Over here on this side, so Jamie shared that she was cat and dog sitting. Maggie's going to come back for sure. And Hippie Kansas girl, way to go. She had predicted, a lot of you like to do this before the live begins, and it's fun. I love reading the before comments because you predict what I'm going to wear. Today I am sporting my Calypso Coral and my peach tank top to match parts of my card. Last week I was wearing my mint green color. Yes, you were right. And it was a turtleneck, Nancy. Yes, I know we're in summer, but I can wear a turtleneck all year long. I'm one of those people that gets cold easily, so it didn't affect me. And Pammy and Judy, sorry, yours is highlighted there. There we go. Pammy and Judy, you had been really good cheerleaders throughout the whole live last week. So I appreciate that you mentioned give her the thumbs up. That's awesome. Rosie, I brought about your comment. Now yours was an after live comment, but I wanted to mention it because it gave me some extra knowledge. It was something that I've never heard of, but we were talking about how the ink pad, so your ink pad can get maybe extra juicy if it comes that way, or you over ink it or something. And sometimes that affects those distinctive stamps, the ones that have the detailed light and dark parts to them. And so I mentioned taking a paper towel and kind of blotting some of the excess ink off the top, and it might help. And Rosie said that what she does is, and she'd heard it from other people, that you take a spoon, or you could take like a credit card or something like that, and you press the ink down into the pad. So that got me thinking, which is, by the way, thank you, Rosie, for that clever idea. That got me thinking that maybe what else you could do is you could take and store your pad. If you have a juicy one, store it this way. Now, normally, your pads are already stored like this. They're upside down when you store them this way, right? So your ink stays to the surface. But if you're feeling like you have a juicy pad, you could take and store it the other way so that the pad is actually sitting upright and the ink is draining down, if that makes sense. So that's another thought. Just wanted to share that one. Okay, now my head feels really, really small. I'm just going to enlarge it a bit here. All right, I think it's time to begin. So let's pull in some stuff. This is the bundle from the suite that I'm going to be sharing. The bundle is called Sweet as a Peach. The actual suite is called You're a Peach. Let me show that to you in the annual catalog. So you can find it on pages 60 and 61 of the annual catalog. It's very peachy. It's tasty, yummy, very summery, late summer kind of refreshing. I don't know. I love it. But let's say you're not a peach fan, and that's okay. If you like any kind of stone fruits, cherries, plums, nectarines, apricots, that sort of thing, you can still use this stamp set. Granted, you won't be able to really use the peach sentiments, but you could turn these into cherries. You could turn this into a larger cherry. You could turn it into a plum. You could turn it into an apricot. Nectarines, of course, they look like cherries. I'm sorry, they look like peaches, just a little bit smoother, right? But you have options. So you don't have to necessarily just stick with peaches, I guess is what I'm saying. So the All-Star group, I mentioned that a little bit earlier. That is the group that I create tutorial videos with. And we have exclusive tutorials every single month. This month, so September 1st, we released our You're a Peach bundle of tutorials. So each one of us, 12 demonstrators throughout the world in this group, created an exclusive project with a how-to video. And we have like these top-notch projects in there. I'm just really amazed at what these people come up with. It's just crazy, and I feel honored to be a part of that group. So I am doing a card that's a fun fold like the one that I have in the tutorial. I'm using some of the similar pieces, but it's not the same card. So, and I think in our blog hop, which is going to be linked to this video in the blog post, you'll be seeing some other kinds of things like that too, where people may have used the same elements of the suite that they did in their tutorial, or they might do something completely different. But it's really fun because we're giving you 12 other options of what you can do with this suite of products just by doing our blog hop today. And then, of course, you'll want to get the tutorial. Okay, so here we go again. Here's the stamp set and the matching dies. You can see that there's some framelit dies in there, dies that frame that cut around the shapes. And I just realized I'm going to do something here on my, there we go. Now I can see your comments right on my iPad. So these cut out, of course, these here, this one cuts this one, this cuts out this grouping of branches. You've got lots of different words in here. These words that are smaller can actually fit into this framelit over here. And then you've got some fun little shape dies that cut out leaves and little tiny flowers and a branch. So lots of different options with that. This is the paper lattices that I was telling you about. And you get, I want to say 12, but let me look. Maybe it's 8. You get 10 in between. So you get 10 paper lattices in a packet, and they come in this nice craft color. Those aren't in the suite, but it's something that I'm bringing into this card. I'm also going to be using the silver and clear epoxy essentials, also not part of the suite, but something that is going to be fun to add to make some wet droplet kind of looks onto our fruit. And then here we go. Here is the specialty paper. So we're using one of the sheets from the In Good Taste designer pack of paper. I do not have all of the sheets anymore. I've gone through several packs of this paper. I love it so much. It's got these natural and fiber, kind of material, textile, and then there's wood grains, different kinds of tiles too, like, decorative tiles that you'd put on the wall or the floor. Just lots of fun, different background designs. So I'm going to be using this one that's a very light wood. And then I'm going to be using this specialty paper, which it's called the snowy white specialty velvet specialty paper. You get 2 sheets, 12 by 12, and can you hear this? It's subby. Oh wait, that's a Tessman word. It's fuzzy. There's the word. It's fuzzy, like this, I don't know, like a baby's cheek. It's so soft. It's so pretty. It's not really pure white. Like our basic white is, I'd say, whiter than the snowy sheets. This kind of looks more like dirty snow now when you put it next to it. But when you don't put them right side by side next to each other, it's snowy. So let's start cutting some of our paper. How do I store my designer paper? Cheryl, I just caught your comment coming through. That is a great question. In fact, I can probably do a little quick, let's do a switcheroony here. Okay. So in my craft room, which you are all in, this is where I store my 12 by 12 cardstock. I store them onto these little shelves here by Stamp and Storage. This is where I store my designer paper that is like the stuff that's in the mini catalog, so around for a shorter period of time. So I have my snowy white over here. I have my gold shimmer vellum. The beautiful red and green metallic-y stuff, the black glitter, all that is over there. And then down in this drawer, which you can't see very well in the camera, but this is where I store my other specialty and designer papers that are 12 by 12 or 6 by 6 or whatever, and those are down here because I use them all year round. I store all my scraps in with the papers. my 8.5 by 11 are in the other two drawers that you can't see for sure, and those are down at the bottom, but they're in file folders. And those are, I store my, someone asked me this last week too, I store my scraps in those file folders. File folders just work for me because if I store my scraps in there, then when I go to get a color, I can go right away to grabbing anything that's smaller that I might be able to use first. So I was going to share that at one point, and your comment just made me do it now. All right, so we are on the crafting table now with the paper trimmer in hand, ready to go. I've opened up the arm because we're going to cut our supplies. I'm going to actually do that part first, I think, and then I will show you the measurements on the screen so that you can take a glance at all of them at once. So we're going to be using Evening Evergreen. It's a nice dark, deep green that's on the cooler side. Mossy Mellow is another, Mossy Meadow is another green that we have that is more of a warmer dark green. This is a cooler one, and it's going to be around for a couple of years because it's one of our in colors. I'm going to take and I'm going to cut this green in this direction. And normally I cut my cards in, my cardstock in half to make card bases. I can get usually 2 out of a sheet of 8.5 by 11. But this is a fun fold card. It's a tri-fold card, so it's going to have a couple, flip flaps over it. So we are going to. I just caught that comment. What was that? Someone knew the word subby. Who was that? Oh, maybe it went in the other direction. Oh shoot, it's gone. I'll have to read it afterwards. I swear that's a word that very few people use, and so my family calls it a Tessman word. My grandma Tessman always used it. All right, 5.5 inches we're going to go to. I know it's going to seem like we're wasting some cardstock here, but I'm going to put that in my scrap drawer along with my other full sheets, and when I need a piece that is smaller, I can grab it. So we're going to cut to 5.5 inches with the dark blade, and then we're going to turn it, and we're going to score this piece. Oh wait, we're going to cut it again, sorry, because we're not going to use 11 inches. We're only going to use 9 3/8. So we're going to come all the way over to here, not 9.5, but 1/8 of an inch short of that. So it's 9 3/8 by 5.5, scored at, make sure I do this right, 1 inch. So we'll do 1 inch in this direction because it's easier to hold this way. There's the 1 inch mark on this side. And then also scored at 5 1/4. So we're going to flip it around, and now here's our 1 inch, and there's our 5 1/4. Okay. So that's, when you look at the directions, you'll know why I wrote them that way. And there is part of our trifold so far. Now this is slightly shorter. This length here is 1/8 of an inch shorter than 4 1/4. That's so that when we fold this part over here, we don't have any chance of it, causing this to pucker or bulge. Okay, so it's slightly shorter, but when you measure the whole card base, it's still 4 1/4 by 5.5. Now, those of you that live outside North America and you don't use imperial, what we call standard measurements in the US or Canada or whatever, I have metric measurements for you too. So you'll be able to see those. Okay, then we need another piece that is 7/8 of an inch by 5.5. So we're just going to take this piece here and we're going to put it into our trimmer. And you know what? Here's a trick that I have taught in the past, but I haven't brought it back in a little while. We're just going to use a Post-it note, and we're going to hold it down so it stays in place right against that 7/8 of an inch area, and we're cutting. You could do 1 inch, because that's how wide this space is. It's 1 inch wide. But again, I don't want anything to pucker. So I don't want to risk having it right up to that score line. This is going to cover up or sandwich our fun little paper lattice that we're bringing in. Okay, so we need our paper lattice. We also need some other pieces. So we're going to grab a soft succulent piece, and we're going to trim that. Now I just got a scrap here that I pulled out of my drawer. And this scrap we're going to cut down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. We're going to do almost the same thing with our designer paper piece. But our designer paper piece, and I'm going to cut it this way, I think, first. 5 1/4. Our designer paper piece, oh, I shouldn't have done that because I kind of want this one to be, I'm cutting this to 1/2 inch. I actually should have cut this to 5.5 and then cut it down because then I wouldn't have to cut my paper so much, but that's okay. So this is 5.25 and this is just under 4 inches. So instead of 4 inches like this layer is, it's going to be 3 7/8. And that's going to go on the inside of our card against this side, because remember, this is 1/8 inch shorter on this panel here. So we want to make this layer 1/8 inch shorter. This one's going to go here. And then we need, from that designer paper, I'm just going to throw those in here. From that designer paper, we needed another 1/2 inch strip that is 5.5 inches in length. So the full height of the card. And that's going to go along that side. Let me check to see what else we need. Soft succulent, we need a scrap from that. We need a scrap from the white. Oh, 2 pieces of white. So let me grab my basic white. This is what I didn't have ready. Normally I have all of these pieces except for maybe a couple cut and ready to go. So my apologies to all of you. This piece is going to be cut to 1/2 inch. And then we're going to cut 2 pieces that are 2 3/8 inch. Making sure I do that right. Yes, 2 3/8. So we'll be here just a little bit longer because Rachel wasn't ready. Okay. All right. And let's see if I have anything left. I've got my scraps. Oh, and then I've got my ribbon. So we'll move this off to the side. We're going to use a scrap of the snowy white, and we're going to use scraps of, we can use this tiny one, scraps of soft succulent and our evening evergreen. And then I think I can set this all over here because I don't think we need that, which you guys don't see what I'm doing, but I've got a big pile here. Okay. So next, we're going to do some stamping, and we're going to stamp, let's stamp some words first, just to get those done. That's simple stamping. Let's punch this, and then we'll stamp. So we're gonna set these 2 little tiny pieces into, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Oops, that's zooming my photo. Hold on. There we go. Okay, we're going to punch this piece out so it looks like a little banner, and so we're shoving it into the 1/2 inch wide channel into there, and we're pushing it all the way in. We've got our punch open, and you can check on the back to make sure, but when you punch it down, it should be good to go. Let's do that next one, same way. They're very short pieces, aren't they? Okay, I'm going to show you the finished card. Normally I don't, but I'm going to show you the finished card. So this is what we're going to be making, and I'm going to show you how this works as a trifold. This opens first, and then this opens like that. So let's do some of the word stamping, and then we'll do some peach stamping, peach and cherries. So for the front side of the card, we need our banner to go this way. For the inside of the card, we need it to go this way. And then we have that middle inside panel that's also going to get stamped on. So all 3 of these are going to get words, and they need to be in a good order. So here's the words that I pulled out. Let's celebrate you. Thanks for being sweet. Thanks for being as, and then sweet as a peach. So we'll grab our evening evergreen color. Oh, I'm glad you guys like the card. Thank you. Hey, LaDon, how are ya? So we'll stamp the sweet as a peach on this piece here. And, oh, Rachel's forgetting. When you're using photopolymer stamps, especially on the peach stamps or the solid ones, you'll want to bring in your Stampin' Pierce mat. We'll just have these underneath these for now. Just it's not necessary, but it's good to have because it gives you a more even image. So let's see. This one is the Let's Celebrate You. So that's going to be the first one that goes on the front of the card. So that's going to get stamped this way, and we want to bring it as far over to the right close to that banner as possible and centered top to bottom. And then we have this one, which is thanks for being as, and that will go far over to the left and centered between top and bottom, because that will be seen when we open the card. If I can pick it up, that will be seen like this. Okay, so they'll be seen together. All right, those pieces are now done. Now let's bring in our peaches. We'll do our die cutting after we've stamped some peaches. So we're going to bring in the snowy white sheet here and our peach stamp. And I've used my peach stamp in lots of different colors, so it is nice and stained. Photopolymer stamps do take on a little bit of ink and become stained over time. It's okay. It's a porous kind of rubber. We'll be using 2 colors with this. So play around, and this is another thing that I didn't take time to do, and I'm so sorry. So I'm hoping to do this in a future post, but play around with your inks and see what kind of fruits you can come up with. Again, I thought of apricots, nectarines, of course the peaches, cherries, plums, other kinds of stone fruit that look like this. Mango Melody is what I'm going to be using because I want a nice ripe peach. And then I'm also going to be using Calypso Coral. So we'll have that one ready over here, and we're going to have a dauber, an ink dauber ready for that one. So let's first ink up this stamp in the Mango Melody. Again, this is our snowy white velvet sheet that you can feel. All right. And then we're going to take our dauber and we're going to pick up some ink. This is a really well-loved dauber. Look at the surface of that thing. I should maybe throw that one away and get a new one, but I didn't. I haven't. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll come in and we'll add some coloring to our peach. So you can come in and you can add some pinkish colors, coral colors or whatever you want to call it, along the outside edges, or you can even come through the middle if you want to, just to give it a two-toned look. Okay, so now we have 2 colors on there. It's hard to see, but when we stamp it down, you'll see what I mean. So we're going to press and we're going to hold for a while because, again, this is velvety kind of paper, so it's fuzzy and it's more porous. When you have a colored cardstock versus the real smooth white or vanilla that we carry, you can you'll want to hold your stamps down a little bit longer. Now I'm going over time here, but you hold it down longer because that gives it more time for the ink to soak in and really get into the grooves and, you know, nooks and crannies. Let's do another one. So I'm just going to go ahead and press off to the side here on my grid paper. If it really bugs you, you can clean off your stamp completely, but it's not bugging me, so I'm going to go ahead and ink it up again and come in with some color and do another one of these. Now I found that when I did my first one, it tended to be a little bit lighter than my second one, so we'll see if that's the case again. All right, so, oh, it's so fun to see everybody's names. Wanda, Naomi, hi, Kathy. Okay, yeah, see, for some reason, it just shows up a little bit darker the second time. I don't know. Maybe the dauber gets more inky. I don't know what it is, but that one looks great. So we're going to set those aside to dry overnight. Actually, what I have here is another one that's already done. So we don't have to set it aside overnight to dry. I'm going to tear that off so that it's ready to die cut. And I already have another one that's already die cut. So we'll be die cutting 2 peaches total. We can close up our colors now. But play around with these. You can use pale papaya ink. You could even do 3 colors instead of just 2. So you could do pale papaya base and then come in with your mango and your calypso and get some really multi-toned colors to the surface of your nectarines or peaches. And then let's do cherries. Okay, so cherries we're going to just do on a scrap of white, basic white cardstock. And we're bringing in the smaller one because, of course, cherries are smaller than peaches. The colors I'm using for that are going to be the cherry cobbler, which makes sense. Oh my gosh, I didn't even connect the name until just this moment. Cherry cobbler and Mary Merlot, because we want to have a darker spot on there. So let's bring in our Mary Merlot dauber. I have a dauber for every color. I have to label them though. I'm not very good at that. So cherry cobbler we'll open up. We'll ink up our entire stamp on this. And then we'll take our Mary Merlot and we'll come in with the dauber and we'll just darken some of the maybe bottom or side edges with Mary Merlot. So fun, fun, fun. Paper crafting is so much fun. You guys, this hobby has been with me for so many years now. I've experienced lots of different stressful times in my life, and I have to tell you, and some of you may have even figured that out with COVID going on, but this is such a nice stress reliever. It brings you kind of into your own world for a while. I'm just breathing some warm breath on there, some moist breath, I should say. I don't know. It's like a bath. Calgon, take me away. Do you guys remember those commercials? So now we have our deep dark cherries. Yum. Now, if you've gone grocery shopping in the recent years, you know that there are also cherries out there that kind of have a more, I don't know, like a corally and then a red tone, like a pinker coral kind of look. So you could do those kind of cherries. Plums, I have plums done. I did the plums with, what colors did I use? Blackberry Bliss and Rich Raspberry. And you could even just stamp them in Blackberry Bliss and you have those nice deep purple plums, you know. But plums are also in those lighter colors too. So we have this ready to die cut. We have our peach, one of our peaches ready to die cut that's dried overnight. Again, wait a while. Just give it some time because the first time I played with this paper, that's the thing. You just have to wait. It takes some time for the ink to soak in. But it's soaked in now. It's not coming off in my hands. It's not smearing. And that's what you need to do. And I was ready to throw all of this away in the trash until my team members, and I think it was a couple of them that said, Rachel, just give it, I think it was Lisa. She said, just wait overnight. It'll work. Because one of my other team members had made a card using it with a peach. Who was that? Was that Linda? Or Cindy? Maybe it was Cindy. But thank you. My mind has a hard time remembering things. So forgive me, gals. But we're going to die cut that. We're also going to die cut a couple leaves to go on the top of our peaches. And we need one in the light color and one in the dark color. So now let us bring in the huge machine. Oops, just shrunk my head again. You guys don't see that. There we go. Okay, we're going to bring in the big machine. Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Gotta love this pretty thing. And we're going to crank this so that we can get the mats all out, all the platforms. So what I've got here is platform number 1. That's the base platform. And then we're going to do the die adapter on top, which is platform number 2. And then we need a couple cutting mats. And I have 2 of them because we're going to sandwich together. So I put my scratchier one against the cutting blade portion of my dies. And I do my nicer one, which I try to keep nice as long as possible, on the top. So let's set up our pieces. We can probably do these all at once if we're really good. So let's grab our dies, and we need a leaf die on the green, and these are like the double ones. So we have ones that are single, and then we have these doubles. I love the doubles. And then we need these 2 here. So we'll grab those, and we're going to use our Post-it note again. We'll just tear it in half because half of it should be plenty to hold it all in place. We'll line up our die framelit pieces over the top and over the top. Yay. I did die cut one of these and it was off and it looked so bad, and I thought to myself, oh, so I hope I don't do that again where I have it off where one side has a larger white edge than the other side. That wasn't good. Okay. Oops, go in straight. There we go. And now we're cranking the handle got all our pieces cut out and ready to go. What have we got? We've got some cherries. Yay! And we've got our dark green leaves. And thank you, Vicki, again for that tip. Just throw your die down and it will release your paper. So we've got that. Let's move this out of the way. Where's our peach? Here it is. And there's our peach. Okay. Now, let's start assembling. So to put this together, oh wait, one more thing we have to die cut. We have to die cut from here. So what I did to die cut from here, and I know this seems kind of wonky, but I did it when the card was assembled. But I'm just going to tell you right now, let's do it when the card is not assembled, because then we don't have to work around the ribbon. So let's grab that die and those plates one more time. Sorry, forgot about this last one. And we're going to die cut right into the lattice. You can do all kinds of things with this lattice. You could die cut it, you could color it, you could punch from it, you could cut little sections or strips from it, so you don't have to use it just as is. And a lot of us, I think we have to do that. I'm going to tip my peach on its side a little bit here. Trying to get it similar to the card that's photographed on my blog. Okay, we have that. Bring this in again. And let's run that through. I suppose I could have had this pre-cut too. Rachel was flying by the seat of her pants the last couple days. You know what it is? See, what I do is when the kids go to school the first day, I sit on social media, on Facebook in particular, and of course I have to post what my kids look like because they change every year, right? Their first day of school pictures. So I post those. And then I sit and I look at all my other friends' pictures and posts, and I want to comment on all of them, and because they're kids, everybody does that, right? And I get lost in it, and I'm thinking, I hope my kids are having a fun day. I'm stressing about that. I'm just praying that, everybody's doing okay, and I don't know. So, okay. So that's why I wasn't ready today. It had nothing to do with them. It had to do with me. All right, so we're going to start by let's get this lattice put in here. So let's fold our card over, use our bone folder, give these creases a little bit more sharper of a crisp crease there. Then we're going to line this up like that. Oh, I injured the corner. We're going to line it up so that it has the same amount of edging all the way around. So if you're doing metric, and I'm going to zoom in a bit again here. If you're doing metric, you can do the same thing where you, because the metric cards are a little bit narrower, but you can shove this in further or bring it out, depending on how your card looks. But just look to see that your border here is pretty similar. And now what we'll do is we'll just put a little bit of adhesive just to hold it in place. So we'll stick a little bit, got to get it moving. We'll stick a little bit here and here just to grab onto the lattice. Let's make sure it's in the right place again. And we're just going to grab it. You'll also want to look to see that this edge here looks like it's exposing the same amount too, okay? So check that, make sure that looks good. Grab it, and now it's stuck on there. We didn't push it all the way down because you have that adhesive. See that adhesive that's there? That could attach to this section of your card, and we don't want to do that. So just kind of grab it and then lift up again. Then we can take this piece, and actually not yet, sorry, I lied. Now we can take our ribbon, and our ribbon is going to come from this pack. This is called our Flowers for Every Season pack of ribbon. We're going to be using the one that's Just Jade. Just Jade ribbon looks pretty good with the soft, succulent cardstock. So I would say go ahead and use that. I need to dust off my desk. You guys, I keep brushing little pieces of eraser and stuff like that away. Forgive me. We need 2 pieces that are about 7 inches. Grid paper, yay. So let me cut that really quick using my nice sharp scissors that has the ribbon on it. So we need a piece that's about that big and 2 of them. All right, now this piece is going to wrap from the front to the inside. And my suggestion is when you do this, do you see how this goes on like this? Do you see that we have this dark edge here? I would expose a little bit of that dark edge. Like, don't go right up to that spot. Expose a little bit of it. I think it's going to look a little bit more pleasing to the eye. And then we've also got this strip, which is going to come in here. So what we should do actually is put that on first. I think I put that on last when I did my sample card. So we got our strip there, and that's going to go again right against this edge, this left edge, like so. Oh gosh, Rachel. There we go. Okay. Does that look good? That looks good. Don't press down too hard. Then we're going to add some adhesive here. And because I put the grid, the lattice thing on too quickly, I'm going to bring out my, this is my, what's it called? Silicone mat, because it repels adhesive basically. So now we're going to grab and we're just going to run adhesive along here. And then we can take, because it won't stick to my table that way. And we'll just add this right here so we have a little bit of that green exposed. Do you see that? I think I went too far over. Too far over, Rachel. Use your finger. The nice thing about this seal, by the way, that I didn't notice with snail adhesive, if you guys remember snail adhesive, is that you can't move it with your, or you can move this with your fingers. Snail was a little bit harder to manipulate with the finger. I don't know why, but this one tends to move a little bit better for you when you want to when you want to do that. Okay, so there. Now we've got that. Move that out of the way, and we can wrap these 2 ends to the back. And you're like, but this back area looks horrible, Rachel. Well, of course it does. But we're going to cover it up. This is the staging area. So now we'll take and we'll just slather on a couple strips of seal adhesive onto this piece. And this is going to hide all of that mess. And we'll go right up to the edge of the green, like that. And press it down. And now we've hidden it. See? Ta-da! Okay. Next, let's go ahead and stick these on the inside just because they're ready and they're kind of in the way. And I keep on thinking, I wish they were out of the way. So we'll just add them now. We have this one for the inside here. And we have this one for the inside on the right. And we're going to add we'll add a peach on the inside. Did a boo-boo. I got some adhesive on my grid paper. That's what the grid paper's for, Rachel. Oh, okay. So we need to put our peach. I have 2 peaches. Here it is. Okay, so we have 2 peaches. We're going to put 1 peach here. And we'll do that now. Actually, we're going to put it here. I lied. We're going to put it here. So we'll just put some seal adhesive on the back side of that. And add it about there. And this one's going to get the dark green leaves. Now we come to the point of, oh my gosh, the leaves are so tiny. How are you going to get seal on them? I'm not. I'm bringing in my multi-purpose glue because I can get into tiny little nooks and crannies with my glue. So that's going to go right like that. And then we'll add a couple cherries. I do have 3. Oh, good. I have my 3 cherries here. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. We'll add 1 cherry like this, and then we'll add the other cherry overlapping like that. Okay, almost done. Let's add our bow. I want to do the front guys, these guys last, just cause. Let's add our bow. So we're going to take our ribbon. We've got 7 inches of ribbon. They were the same size, so it doesn't matter which one you use for the side of your card or which one you use for the bow. But we're going to take and do little rabbit ears here, and we're going to do an overhand knot. So we're going to pretend like this is all one piece. We're going to cross them over each other like that. Then we're going to tuck one inside and through the hole. Grab it with your fingertips. I apologize for my nails, everyone. And then we'll just lengthen this out here. I have taken off my fingernail polish because it was coming off anyways. And I have ridges because I'm an old lady now. So I have ridges on my nails, and there's no way to get rid of them, I guess. They just are there. I keep asking the person who does my nails, my Megan gal, she's like, you can't do anything. I'm like, okay. And then I go ask the next time I come in, can I do anything for these? No, you can't do anything. Okay. How about today, Megan? Can I do anything to go? She's like, Rachel, they're there. All right, we're going to lift up some glue dots here. Probably only need one. And we'll just kind of position where that bow is going to go. We want it sort of up high because we want to have room for our words. I think that'll work. Right there. So let's add our Let's Celebrate You. We're going to put seal adhesive right along that whole back there. Like this. And some of you are like, what? No, it's true. Right along the whole back. We're going to lift this up just a tad to try to tuck this in there. Boy, I really used adhesive under there. Come on. All right. Well, it's not going to look exactly like the photo then. We'll just, you know what? It's not going to get tucked. We'll just put it like that. Okay, now if I press down too hard, we're going to stick those 2 layers together, and we don't want to do that. We also have a gap there, and that's okay. I meant to have that on purpose. Now let's open it up, and let's put the adhesive on this piece here, and we'll sandwich them together. So these are just going to go right next to each other. We actually want the ends to line up. So we're going to line up the ends. And then we'll do some creative tucking. See how I kind of pulled this out and then I just tucked it in? There we go. This piece we're not going to use. I'm sure you could find a use for it in something else though if you want to. Now let's add our last bit of fruit, and this is the fun part. So we have a hole here. That's the reason I made the hole, because I wanted to be able to see the peach from the front and when you open up the whole thing. So the peach is going to be our star, our shining star on this card. So close it completely, hold it nice and flat, make sure that it's fitting inside that puzzle piece. And then you can take and, have this open up and you can finish off the rest. So we'll take another seal adhesive and we'll put that under the cherry and we'll tuck it behind like this. This guy needs some multi-purpose liquid glue. We might go over the hour today, everyone. I'm so sorry. But I have a tip to share with you, and I have some new product to share that I want to talk about. So stick with me if you can. If you can't, that's okay. There's our fun little leaves on top of that. Then to finish it off, we're bringing in the clear and silver epoxy essentials. And they are clear or silver. We're going to use the clear sheet. And we're going to use all 3 of them. One of them is like an arrow. I'm use the take your pick tool here. One of them is kind of like an arrow. Can you, here, if I put it against something. So these are diamond shape. So we're going to grab one of those. I haven't taken these off with the take your pick tool yet. Oh, good, they work. Okay, so we're going to stick one of them this way, and we're going to grab another one, and we're going to stick it on the other side, going, oops, it's off a little bit, that way. So there's what I did there. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, and then on the peach, we need a drip. So we have these little drips here. So we're going to grab one of those. They look like little raindrops or tears. And we're going to add one right where that white area is. There's a little bit of white there because I want that to kind of add to the shine of the peach. It looks like the peach has got a really nice wet drip of water coming off of it right in that spot. And then these are circles. So you got the 3 different shapes. You have the teardrops, you have the diamonds, and then you have the circles. And these, I mean, I guess I wish they were ovals now in this case because, you know, perspective-wise, I need to get more gummy stuff on the end of this. Perspective-wise, it would be better, I guess, if I had ovals sitting on this surface, but we'll loosen it up with the pokey end first and then we'll grab it. But that's okay. It is what it is. And I still love it. Oops, there we go. So let's take and put that one there. Now we have, like, the water has dripped onto the counter. Okay? So that is our finished card. It's a trifold card. Very, very fun. So I wanted to give you this tip. Here, I'll open it up so you can see the inside and the out. I don't know what that is. The inside and the outside all at once. There's our fun peach card. Yay! I'm glad you like it. Thanks for the comments. And you love the drip. Great. And the fuzzy paper, you know, people aren't even going to notice. Like, you could have a peach that's just done on the basic white, but they'll notice when they touch the card. And then they'll know if it's a nectarine or a peach, right? So I just think it's fun. The peaches, the fuzzy paper or the velvet paper is good to use with those sheep too that are the celebration stamp images that you can get right now with a $50 order. You can stamp your peaches and have fuzzy sheep. Very fun. And yes, teardrops for umbrellas, like if you're going to have drips coming off of them. Great idea, Beth. Thanks for sharing that. So this stamp set, as I had shared and as you had seen, is a photopolymer stamp set. Do you see how the stamps are stored now? I'm just going to peel this away. They're stored, the newer ones have the printing on the inside cover. And it's not my favorite, I have to admit, because of words. Words in particular. It's hard for me to know what words I'm grabbing. I have to lift it up and then I have to read backwards. And sometimes reading backwards is hard on the eyes, especially when you have really scripty fonts or something. Or you could hold it up to the light and look through it, you know, this way. Like now I can read this and you can't right now because of the lighting, but I can see it says sweet as a peach here. But you're reading words backwards on this sheet. So last week, as I'm cleaning up after last week's live, I was kind of like looking at the stamp set that we used last week, which is also photopolymer. And I said to myself, I'm going to grab this out of here for a minute. I said to myself, I really don't like how this works, where you can't, I'm going to pull this up because they're misaligned there. Okay. Where it's hard to read, right? You got all this scripty stuff on here. Who knows what that says? So I took a big piece of basic white cardstock and I inked up, I peeled this away. I had all my stamps sitting on here and I inked up the surface of all of my stamps at once. Now, it's not like the flattest container, so you want to do this on a flat surface. You want to kind of, you know, move everything off to the side and ink this up and have them all inked, and then you bring in your white paper. And I'm just going to do this. Okay. You bring in your white paper and you lay it down on top, and then you press and you grab like a block and you press and you press and you press so that you're getting as much of those ink images as possible onto the white paper. And then you pull away, and you're going to have some that probably don't ink up all the way like I did here. And here I had to re-ink it again. But what you have now is the words going in the right direction. So then you take this and you just bring it onto that side, tuck it in your case, so that when you open up your case, you can say, oh, I'm looking for the thank you for your kindness one that I can see on the front here. And it's going to be opposite of that. So that's my stamp. I want my celebrate. Here it is. I want my best wishes. Here it is. I want my every season brings its own wonder. Here it is. I was so happy when I came up with that. And maybe other people have already figured that out, but I was super happy and I wanted to share that with all of you. Shared it with my team last week and we were all just like, yay. So I'm going to do that with as many photopolymer stamp sets as I can. So let's see here. We need to bring in prizes next, don't we? Prizes are next. So let me grab them. Oh, today we're doing tutorials. That's what we're doing. So if you are a prize winner that Trisha draws, you're going to get your pick of any of my tutorials that are in my tutorial section of my blog. You know what I forgot to do? Just saw it. Oh my goodness, Rachel. Hang on. There it is. Where some of you going, where is the measurement supply list that she always shares at the beginning? I was going to do it after I had cut all my pieces and I just got carried away and wanted to make my card. This sheet, by the way, is always something that you can access in the blog post. So you don't have to take a screenshot, but here's the measurements. Metric is included. There's all the supplies listed there. You can also find the supplies listed in the description of my video. And also, of course, in the blog post. So when you go to the blog post at 5 p.m. Central Time or after, you click on that link that's in the description of this video, you go there, you'll be able to download this sheet if you'd like to. It doesn't have the photos attached to it, but it does have the title of the card that we made. And then you can tuck it into your, I don't know, tutorial folder or wherever you keep all your projects that you want to make. So there's that. So sorry I forgot to share that. Holy cow. Let's go back to the desktop and we will bring in prize from last week so you could see that. Last week's prize winners won the Stampin' Pierce mat and a packet of rhinestones. And the two names that were drawn during the live did claim them right away. So yay, congratulations to those people. And I am going to bring up, let me grab this out of the way on my computer. I'm going to bring up my computer screen so we can see who the winner is from the after live comments from last week. So if you were somebody that commented on last week's video after the live was done, you got entered into the third prize drawing. And I'll tell you, the chances are really good for that because, because that prize drawing has way less comments than the live, just so you know. So you can comment on both if you want to. So we have the winner for that, and the winner is Sherry Dugan. Yay, Sherry Dugan, you're going to get these. You'll want to contact me though. My email address is stampyourartout@comcast.net. Reach out to me, let me know your name, and tell me what prize you won, and then give me your address. If you do not live in the U.S., I can't send you product, but I can send you a tutorial, which is the prize for the winners today for the today's live. So every winner for today's live and the after live commenters are going to get a tutorial of your choice. And so we're going to go back to another screen on my computer here where you guys don't need to see this, but I'm going to just scroll to see if Miss Trisha has called out those prize winners yet. And I do not see them yet, but oh, there they are. Oh my gosh, Trisha, like right at the same moment. So we are not in the same place. She's at her house miles away and I'm here. And so she has to time it because there is an actual delay. Like when I start the live, I have to wait 28 seconds before the live actually kicks in. So I try to always start it before 11, but sometimes I'm late like today. But anyways, congratulations to today's live winners. They are Linda Roberts and Lorraine Brandt. Yay! Congrats to you two. So reach out to me, to my email, which is up on the screen there, stampyourartout@comcast.net, and let me know which tutorial you would like. Now, how do you find the tutorials? I'm going to bring you back to my computer and walk you through that. So if you're on your computer, you're going to go to a website called stampyourartout.com. There it is there as it's coming up. This is my, oh, of course it's in my preview mode. That's okay. We can still find it. So stampyourartout.com is my website, And my blog portion of my website can be found by going either to home and then click on blog, or you can scroll down and you can click on blog, or you can scroll down even further and click on the latest post. But we don't even need to go to the blog. All you need to do is go to the tab up here, and it's actually under the classes tab. It's called tutorials for sale. So you're going to click on tutorials for sale, and then you'll scroll down once it goes there. Almost there. I can see the little wheel spinning in the upper corner. Can you guys see that? You can see all my tabs open too. Sorry. I've got a lot going on. It's going to get there. I swear it is. There it is. Okay, so then you scroll and you can go through and look, and here's the You're a Peach. There's the hand penned, expressions in ink, sand and sea. Scroll down. There's even some that aren't specifically on, oh, am I making people dizzy? Sorry. There's even some that aren't specifically on a suite or a bundle. Like, well, that one's not included. Sorry. Because that one, I don't know if that one's available anymore. Oh, it might be, you know what? That one's included. I think the tutorial is still available if it's on my website. There's the Autumn Mega tutorial even. Some of these go back to years and years ago, but you might have product. Let's say you have the Botanical Prints Medley. Maybe you want that one. Or when I was with another group called the Stampin' Anonymous group, we have Stampin' Anonymous tutorials. So I would offer those as prize options too. So you have options, prize winners. You get to pick from any tutorial today. So congratulations to all of you. And I think, I was going to talk about 2 new products, and then I'll let you all go. So there's a new kit that got released today. It's called Christmas Whimsy, and it is a new Kits Collection kit. So the Kits Collection is basically this collection of different kits that once they sell out, they sell out. Stampin' Up! Brings new ones in every once in a while. You can access them on the website. So you go to stampinup.com and you shop. Or you can go to my blog and you can click the shop button for getting there too. But let's move to that computer again really quick. Here's Christmas Whimsy. So Christmas Whimsy is a new card kit. It's $19. You can add it to your cart. It makes lots of fun, whimsical 8 cards that are just super stress-free, DIY, get them done quickly. You're going to love it. It's such an adorable set of cards. The images of the elves are just so cute. We're going to go to the Kits Collection really quick and you can see even more. So the Kits Collection, oops, there we go, features all kinds of kits. And some of them look like past kits that have been revived, and they are. But that's because Stampin' Up! Wanted to release the Kits Collection right away. But they've been adding in, like one of them that sold out completely was this butterfly kit. They're bringing it back, I've been told. So hang on to your horses if you want that one, because I hear it's coming back. But yeah, the kits are going to constantly refresh themselves. I'm hoping that they'll have like a new kit every month. We'll see. But just come back to the website every once in a while and check them out. Also, Paper Pumpkin. So Paper Pumpkin, and we'll just click and do a new tab here. Paper Pumpkin. Oops. Pumpkin. There it is. See, this is where I was not prepared today either, you guys. I normally would have all this stuff just so that it's cleaned up and ready to go. This is Haunts and Harvest. Haunts and Harvest is the new Paper Pumpkin kit that is going to be available. It's going to get sent out to subscribers. Oops, it disappeared on us. It'll come back. But it's going to get sent out to subscribers starting around like September 11th. So you have to be subscribed by the end of the day, September 10th, if you live in North America. If you live outside of North America, Paper Pumpkin subscription kits are not available to you. I'm sorry about that. But the one that you see right now, that Hope one that's all colorful and bright, is going to be a global kit. So it will be released in the other markets that Stampin' Up! Has, I think, in a month and a half. So look forward to that. I had lots to share. Thank you for sticking with me all this time, everybody. We went over by a lot, but I shared it all. And next week, I will see you again on September 15th, 11 a.m. Central Time. In the meantime, have a great week. And I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.